Microsoft finalized, at least according to the European Union, the acquisition of one Bethesda. I guess ZeniMax, technically, right?
ZeniMax, yeah.
But Bethesda.
Everyone else, I don't know. Fuck it, we'll talk about it.
Okay. I mean, you just do it now. You're saying, or are you going to go into I don't know if anybody else realizes it's ZeniMax?
No.
Oh, all right, well.
I'm more like organizations have. See, that's the thing. Like, who do you have to go to say, hey, I want to buy this company? Who's got to okay it? I know more people outside of the EU has okayed it today.
Oh,
to the point of where they're just like, yeah, it's official. We're done.
Yeah, I think it's a part of it for the EU is like we have a lot of countries that are going to take issue, so we're just going to hold on for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the majority of us say it's okay, and everybody else is like, well, we can't really just argue with 30 other people already said yes.
Yeah. I think it's also like you know what? We don't really care about you. That NVIDIA ARM thing, where we care about that.
We care about that because other companies told us to care about it, but we as like a state don't understand why we should care about it.
Why do we care about that again?
Remind me, what are we outraged against? Always my favorite one. Somebody tell me what I'm screaming about. Loud noises.
That summarizes the past decade.
2 decades.
2 decades.
Dos decados. I'm pretty sure is the Spanish word for decades.
Sounds good. Was there anything else to your intro?
My intro's already stopped.
Okay.
That stopped when I stopped talking and you started talking.
Well, this is the Gamers 2 podcast. Another week. That's it. No, just kidding.
I like that that's it. It's the potty. Another week. You figure out why you're still listening.
Another. Gamers 2. March 12th, 2021. Your weekly roundup of news and commentary. Anything else that might pique our interest?
Such as
new releases.
Formula One test set.
Oh, yeah. Formula One test. What was relevant? I watched the clip that summarized it. That was interesting. Oh, Mercedes having gearbox failure. They're having reliability issues. Mind blowing. Red Bull coming out strong, fast, and did I think 2 or 3 race sessions. So they ran like 100 and something laps, 150 laps, 170 laps, something like that.
That's a lot of laps.
Yeah.
Comparatively, when normally, what's a race like 70?
Usually? Less than that usually. Usually it's like 50 something. Trying to think of what else weird happened. A lot of young people at the top of the lap times. A lot of the younger drivers.
And F1's still terrible about color designation between their teams.
Yep.
Alfa Romeo and Ferrari.
Did you see the Haas?
Different shade of red. It's like, oh my God, stop this, please.
Did you see the Haas car?
No. I have not seen the liveries yet.
So.
Liveries? Liveries?
I don't know. I call them liveries, but I don't like either word really, either pronunciation.
Yeah.
I don't like the word.
Yeah. Skin is what they should have.
Yeah, skins.
It's 2021.
I do like a bunch of the cars.
Yeah.
The Aston Martin is dope with the green.
Yeah. Well, it's similar to, or not similar, but it's the almost callback to Aston Martin of yore.
Yeah. So the interesting with Haas is that they have a Russian driver.
Okay.
As you probably know, but might not realize, but it extends to racing, not allowed to display the Russian flag.
Sure. Yeah.
Guess what the car is?
The Russian flag?
It's basically a giant Russian flag. And just the humor, the irony of the fact that it's an American racing team
with a Russian flag and a Russian driver for,
Yeah. Good stuff. In that vein, though...
People thought it stopped at the top. Oh.
Yeah, right. Roman Grosjean has moved to IndyCar, and he's been doing a lot of streaming / YouTube videos. He has a new fancy camera that's a helmet cam.
Yeah.
And he's been putting up some interesting videos. The most recent one has been a video of his IndyCar testing, and he did a breakdown comparing it to the difference between an IndyCar and a Formula One car. And it was actually very interesting because Indy cars do not have power steering. And there's a couple other differences that, like, they're both hard to drive, but in totally different ways.
I guess it does make sense to an extent why IndyCar wouldn't have power steering.
Yeah. IndyCar is much more like driver's experience. Like, it's not all mechanical grip, but more mechanical grip.
Yeah.
But it's a short, like 6 or 8 minute long video, and you see the difference very quickly from the onboard footage, just the way the steering wheel moves, how much you're like fighting the car and different things. It's pretty interesting.
But there's other things.
Like new releases.
There we go.
Or baseball.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I mean, listen, spring training, whole swing, I could go there, but we don't need to.
All right.
Because it's spring training.
It is spring training. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Or so I'm told.
It does. You'll get the people. If we were doing a baseball podcast, it would be the overreaction. What is it? Friday? Whenever we recorded it, would be overreaction whatever day. And it would just be, somebody went 0 for 3 in spring training. They're the worst player in the world. Somebody hit a home run. Is he the next Mike Trout? Like, that would just be the entire conversation the entire time.
Yeah. Because
people and writers are stupid.
Yeah. So the moral of the story is, if you're sick of spring training
and you Formula One testing.
Yeah, and testing, new release video games.
Like The Elder Scrolls Online Flames of Ambition DLC for PC and, believe it or not, Stadia. Project. Number 2, Apex Legends comes to the Switch. Number 3, Watch Dogs. Yeah, Watch Dogs Legion multiplayer mode. Pretty sure that's not actually out, and it got delayed again.
Okay. I saw a trailer. I didn't
ignore my glorious list.
I didn't actually watch the trailer, but I saw that there was a trailer for it.
Yeah, I have no idea. So I might be the worst person ever at the beginning of this podcast, apparently. So number 4, First Strike Classic for the PC. Number 5, Nightfall Hacker for the PC. Number 6, Cyanide and Happiness Freakpocalypse for the Part 1 for the PC and the Switch. Number 7, Flow Weaver for the PC VR. Number 8, Hyperscape Season 3 Shadow Rising for PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, and Xbox One. Y'all remember that Battle Royale?
Are you asking me?
Do you?
No.
It's Ubisoft's Battle Royale.
Oh, which one? Hyperscape?
Yeah.
That's still around.
Season 3, apparently.
Okay.
Number 9, Monster Truck Championship for the PS5 and Xbox Series X in the European Union. Because I'm sure we have one listener that affects. That's honestly just real hope. We have one listener that affects. Number 10, Total War 3 Kingdoms Fates Divided DLC for the PC. Number 11, World Rally Car 9 for the Switch, or good old WRC. Might be World Rally Championship, not sure.
Yeah, I think it's Championship, but I don't know. Either.
Probably. Number 12, Crash Bandicoot 4 for the PS5, Xbox Series X, and the Switch. And number 13, Drive-By for the PC and Switch. Not spelled how you'd think it would be.
Yeah, what's that mean? Do you buy the drive?
Interesting. I like to think that it's
tornadoes.
Yes, tornadoes would definitely be up there. Basically like curbside pickup.
Okay.
Drive-by.
Okay. That makes more sense.
Like Uber Eats, but a video game, and I don't know why that sounds worse, actually, in my head the more I talk about it. But yes, that was the new releases. Do you have a care about odds or evens in this? really boring week.
It's all hot garbage. So,
Where's the hottest garbage?
I guess it depends on how you define hottest. Hottest as in worst, or hottest as in best.
I'm going to take evens.
Okay.
Yeah, why not? I feel like I do odds enough. Don't know. Somebody needs to researcher that we don't have. Can you do a full breakdown of every 300 and some odd episodes and tell me who took odds and who took evens? Yeah, I don't want to ever remind you how many episodes we've done.
Oh my God.
It's not 300.
It's not? Okay.
No. 200?
That's still kind of crazy when you consider we do one a week and there's 52 weeks in a year.
Yeah, so I think it's at least 150. I'm getting lower on this number as I go. Yeah. 150 and 3 listeners. It's a great time.
Number 1. A press release issued by, do you know how to pronounce this? Is it Erdetto? Erdetto? Iardetto? Erdetto?
I definitely don't think it's Iardetto.
I know, right?
Erdetto. I like that.
Okay,
I like Erdetto.
We're going to go with Erdetto. A press release issued by Erdetto revealed that Denuvo
Yeah, I love this. I love that you got one.
has joined Sony's PlayStation 5 tools and middleware program. This means game developers can now use Denuvo in their PlayStation 5 games to prevent cheating and hacking. The company says that a number of PS5 launch games actually already incorporated Denuvo's anti-cheat. Also, despite claims to the contrary, Erdetto notes that the software does not impact performance in any way, nor does it disrupt the workflow of a game developer. Oh my God. Rough start this week.
Number 1.
Also, Denuvo is terrible in the grand scheme of things. Actually, you know what? Maybe it's not terrible.
Do you want to elaborate on terrible in the grand scheme of things?
Maybe not terrible. Maybe it's just like certain developers' implementation of it.
I say, are you reaching Old Man Yells at Cloud points here, or
kind of? I guess.
Like what game have you experienced with Denuvo where you've had problems?
You know, it's usually Ubisoft games, but then once you get through, like, there's been a couple where it's been bad. Done research, and like a lot of like people online, which obviously grain of salt, has been like, oh, this is the problem, but my computer has been fine enough to power through it. There's been one time I've actively like cracked the game to pull it out because it was available, and performance noticeably got better. But so
yeah, it's the one of just anti-cheats in general.
Yeah.
When I played Valorant when it was in beta, and I don't remember what it's called now. It's not Vanguard.
It was Vanguard.
Was it Vanguard?
Yeah, I think it was Vanguard.
Riot's Vanguard is so offensive that I was like, I don't actually care to play Valorant for that reason. And then I've debated in the last month re-downloading League just to play like random little fun game, ARAMs as they're called, fun little one-offs. But every time I think about it and I think about Vanguard, I'm like, nope, absolutely not. Don't want to touch that at all. Won't touch it with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah.
It's actively one of the worst.
Denuvo has probably gotten a lot better, but there was a point where it was like calling to their servers too often.
Ah, okay.
And I think they tweaked it, and people like obviously shined a light on it.
Yeah.
So they changed it. And then there was a point where like it wouldn't let you play offline in a single player game.
No, of course. Always a fun thing like that.
But I'm sure it's gotten a lot better.
Sure, yeah. We'll hope for the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're an optimistic podcast.
Yes, we've been known for our optimism. I haven't been pessimistic basically all day today. Number 2. According to an internal document obtained by Extra Points publisher Matt Brown via Open Records request, the Collegiate Licensing Company, or CLC, told colleges and universities that EA intends to launch the new college football video game in July of 2023.
Yay.
I guess it's a release date, but I'm wondering, like, why did you have to let the universities know? Right. Are the universities getting paid? Because if we go back to this whole problem I had when the first thing started, the players aren't going to get paid.
I did see a thing where Notre Dame's not going to be in the game. They said they refuse to be in the game until they resolve the issue of players and their likeness and blah, blah, blah getting paid.
Good for them.
So, yeah.
I respect that. Also, just to give just want to give you another college like thing here. This article is going to come currently from CBS by one Gabriel Fernandez. But Rocket Mortgage is now sponsoring the Michigan State Spartans.
How's that work?
Right. So I believe after the deal was announced Thursday, the school announced in a press release that along with it being a 5-year contract, the team will now be known throughout the Breslin Center as MSU Spartans presented by Rocket Mortgage. Then on Friday, they released a statement clarifying that the team would not actually be changing its name and that actually this deal is very normal. So
I feel like we're in like weird meme territory with this, like
yes,
the
100%.
commercialized, like how commercialized everything's becoming, like RoboCop levels of. I don't know if you remember the movie RoboCop at all, but
I haven't watched it in a while. But yes, I don't know. I keep waiting for just the Taco Bell commercial presented by McDonald's or something along those lines, where it's I guess to bring back Russia. It's a Russian doll. I can't remember what the name of those actual dolls are.
I know what you're talking about. I also don't know the name of them.
The ones
nesting dolls.
Yes, nesting dolls. It's basically a nesting doll of sponsorships. Brought to you by. But they're all related. It's
so that's a college.
The Whopper presented by Burger King, brought to you by McDonald's in coordination with Wendy's. Like,
so that's a college getting sponsored.
Yes, college getting sponsored by Rocket Mortgage.
How long before we get a high school getting sponsored?
It probably already happens.
An elementary school.
How long before elementary school kids have agents? That's your bigger question. Bigger story. Like, this kid's a prodigy. He's 6 years old on the Pee Wee football team.
Get him an agent.
He needs an agent.
You know what's frightening is like I could see that happening.
Oh yeah, but I mean that's an anime storyline and a half in like 3 years.
It's
also,
true.
Back to the Rocket Mortgage thing and people and players getting paid. Don't think the college was hurting for money. Have a real solid bet that somebody like Michigan State not hurting for money. Also, pay your players. So
why is college so expensive? Damn.
Don't even get me going with that, because we're going to be here for a while of me screaming from the rooftops that education should not make you in debt until you're 75. That being said, the rich don't give a fuck about you.
Eat the rich.
All the people that did that already, I could do this all day, but all the people that already have done that, for the majority of them, are never for the whole. There was a whole post on this earlier on Reddit with somebody destroying somebody else about something, but it was like, one of the millennials gonna be like humbled or whatever, and it's like, the person's like, do you not realize your entire generation ruined everything and you refuse to do anything about anything? So now we're having to do all of it again and then hopefully not ruin it going forward for people. when all of you guys just went me, 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 and benefited from countless wars. Anyway. Nate's done being angry.
So depressing.
Like a great depressing.
See what you did there. Number 3.
Oh, ah.
Competitive video gaming company Super League Gaming has announced it will acquire streaming platform Mob Crush. Mob Crush is a live streaming platform that distributes nearly 2 million hours of content annually from gaming influencers and can deliver streams across sites like Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and more. Super League Gaming said it expects to reach a new level of scale, including a U.S. audience of 75. I don't know where I got that number from. 85 million monthly viewers and more than 7.7 billion annual U.S. video views across digital live streaming platforms. Super League Gaming said it expects to reach a new level of scale. All right, that's weird. Repeating myself.
Yep.
There's been a few of these the past couple of weeks where, like, you know, X company buys X streaming platform.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you heard of any of these?
I've heard of Mob Crush, but I've never.
I'm assuming they're more of like the behind the scenes infrastructure people.
I believe so. But I do like that in the art it was across sites like Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and more. And it's like, yeah, you're right. The ones that pull like less than 1,000 average viewers.
Yeah.
Per entirety of their infrastructure.
Or it's like something like Pornhub, and they don't want to like name drop that.
Why wouldn't you name
Does
drop that?
Does Pornhub have streaming? I feel like they would.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do. But also, why wouldn't you name drop that? Like, I get some people, that same generation I just complained about ruining everything, is so pent up about like sex work that they can't handle the words porn. But something like Pornhub, imagine how, like, if you said you were a IT professional, like in Pornhub's infrastructure,
that'd be a pretty big fucking deal.
That'd be massive.
Yeah, that's like on the scale of like working for YouTube or something along those lines.
It's another gigantic platform. That if you were in that video, I don't know, not even video production industry, but like that end of video content, and you're like, yeah, I wanted to switch from whatever YouTube to Pornhub or Pornhub to YouTube, they would probably just go, yes, like you clearly understand where a video. I wanted to say a video presenting platform, but I can't think of what I actually want there.
Video distribution.
Yeah. Like, we're all video distribution, so your skills translate and it makes sense, and you've done it on a large scale, so you know what to expect. Just interesting. Number 4. Humble Bundle raised over $30 million for charity in 2020. The digital storefront announced that the fund supported 224 charities last year. The storefront's publishing arm also committed $1 million to publish titles from Black developers. Big numbers.
That's a lot of money.
Always wild when you hear Humble Bundle. And you're like, you get a lot of things for really cheap, and then they're like, by the way, we donated $30 million, and you're like, but what?
Humble Bundle and Games Done Quick. Is that what the fuck it's called?
Yes. Games Done Quick. The two. Some are awesome.
Those always surprise you with the amount that they are capable of.
And that's a pandemic year.
Yeah.
30 million pandemic year.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if that's higher.
Interesting take. Yeah, it might be. We would need the yearly numbers.
Yeah.
Obviously. But
because there's that weird, like,
everybody's at home.
Yep. Like the gaming industry grew like substantially this past year, which in one sense makes sense. Like that makes sense. And the other side, it's like, that doesn't make sense because money.
Right. It's like, it shouldn't make sense because money, but then everybody that is at home is just spending it on that.
Yeah.
So there's all those double downs. And then they did was it in June or whatever it was, when the Black Lives Matter movement like really stormed through everything, and they ran that one bundle that was all black creators or black influence things or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And it was that slammed through just tons of donations anyway.
Here's a thought. Have you ever tracked how much money you spend on gaming? Yeah.
No.
Exactly.
I'm not stupid.
Isn't it like I'm like morbidly curious.
Are you really though?
I'm curious.
Do you want to do this right now? Because we can do a quick little rundown of just like, let's really think about it.
I'm curious, but I know that after I'm done, I'll be really depressed.
All right. So how many consoles have you bought for yourself?
In the past year?
No. You said how much money have you spent on gaming?
I meant like a year, essentially. In a year.
Oh, per year?
It's chump change.
Yeah, that's not that much.
Yeah, but if you added it up, like
if you ignore a console a year,
yeah, I'm just saying in a year. So like
$300 maybe.
Is that including your subscriptions and stuff too?
No.
See, I'm saying everything gaming related,
including the
so,
subscriptions. Like, $450 probably, because I'm on and off of a bunch of them. So some of them are just one-off $15. But like WoW is consistent usually, so
yeah. Then you include consoles or PC upgrades.
Yeah, the console spikes it, a PC upgrade spikes it, but I haven't done either of those in a couple of years. Like obviously the PS5 this year. But this year also was like beginning of the year. Animal Crossing held me until somebody would have to fact check me on this, but Animal Crossing in the show into The Last of Us into Ghost of Tsushima.
You know what we should do?
Was Doom this? No, Doom wasn't this year.
Gonna completely forget this, but what would be a fun thing, a fun extra category for like our end of the year, game of the year thing where we're talking about shit that we've played?
Yeah.
The game that we got the most money's worth out of. So for you,
bang for the buck style.
For you, I would come right off the bat. It'd either have to be WoW or it'd have to be the show.
Yes. Like. No. I feel like it's 100% true. It would be WoW or the show, because WoW. I mean, $40.
It's WoW, you know,
$40, then $15 a month. Which, if you say by the end of the year, that would be $65 that I put into it, or 55. I can't do math. $55 for the November purchase, the month of December, and I sank time.
Yeah.
The show, same thing. From, was it April or March last year? Whenever that came out, played it well into December, and basically had to sunset myself in January.
Yeah.
Played it for a little bit, and now it is officially uninstalled as of like 3 weeks ago.
Trying to palate cleanse before the new one.
Yeah. Give myself a separation moment. But those would almost always be true each year. Like those, I would almost have to not count those. Those are constants at this point.
Because but you never know. Something might come along and get you.
Something might come along and get me, or like you'd be more apt to find a year where maybe the show doesn't grab me. Like for some reason, I just really don't.
And it can be a sliding scale too. Like you might play one year, you might play the show more, but the enjoyment you might have played like another game slightly less. But like Football Manager, for example, like you might get like that year get more enjoyment out of Football Manager, even though you played it less than.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if we're saying
value,
enjoyment includes value, or value includes enjoyment, and not just hours sunk or whatever.
Yeah.
Because if you start doing enjoyment levels, well, that gets kind of into the games, game of the year, game of the year conversation, where I'm saying, well, I enjoyed this one the most type of thing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I really enjoyed Ghost of Tsushima.
But I played
was it the best value?
Yeah.
It was very good value. But was it the best value? Well, now we still look at, for me, the show and WoW. Because I enjoyed both of them, and I played them 7 times as much as Ghost of Tsushima.
On the low end.
Minimum. Minimum. I didn't check my time in the. Technically, I would have problems checking my time because I switched consoles, but I didn't check my time in the show.
That's probably dirty.
It's probably 5 days.
Number 5,
Which ain't small.
Square Enix is holding a digital direct on. Do we know if it's Square Enix or Square Enix? Like what the appropriate pronunciation is?
I've heard both. I've heard it both ways. I don't know. I think it's Enix.
I usually say Square Enix when I said Square Enix that time, and it felt really weird.
Yeah, but I feel like I've heard people say that as well. But I definitely think I hear more people say Enix.
Yeah.
Then again, you hear a lot of people say Ubisoft, not Ubisoft. So,
yeah,
I would have to hear one of the Square people say it to then get a confirmation.
Yeah,
because I won't take a confirmation from somebody that doesn't work for Square. Same reason when I hear Yves Guillemot say Ubisoft, I go, all right, it's Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Whatever you say, Yves. You are. Never mind. As you say, like the wing beneath my wings, but that doesn't make any sense in the context.
I like it. Square Enix is holding a digital direct on March 18th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. They're showing the world premiere of the next Life is Strange with a 40-minute lineup of new trailers and announcements.
Is that 40 minutes of new Life is Strange trailers?
I hope not, but I'm not putting it past them.
Fair enough. Do you give a shit about Life is Strange?
I absolutely do not.
Okay, all right, as long as we're in the same boat. I've literally never played a single one of them. I also just don't care.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm sure people are pumped that do care, but at the same time, well, sorry.
Not me. That's kind of the thing I've been getting lately is that
it ain't me.
A lot of the stuff that's coming out and that are getting a lot of attention are not things that are in my wheelhouse of interests. So, getting old, I think.
Hey, I feel that. Also, now that we listen to Dance Monkey, I have it stuck in my head.
Yeah. Forgot it existed as well until you...
Yeah, so did I. I entirely forgot it existed. I was watching a Tomatone meme video, and he did Dance Monkey, and I was like, oh, yeah.
The past week, I've been doing a lot of Daft Punk listening because of the recent news, obviously.
Yeah. Until they reform in 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, their albums, like vinyl records, are getting re-released for obvious reasons.
Oh, yeah.
Money.
But re-released with limited quantity type move?
I don't think so. I think
where
it's
they would get even
like
more money?
Yeah.
They'll probably still be extremely hard to find anyway.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Number 6. Electronic Arts has launched a thorough investigation after reports of a company employee selling FIFA Ultimate Team cards directly to players. Eurogamer has collected some of the claims made via Twitter, with more found via the hashtag EAGate. Images from various messaging apps show conversations that indicate an EA employee is selling rare icon cards, which are special cards featuring legendary players, for hundreds, if not thousands of euros. Electronic Arts has responded via a statement on Twitter and is looking into the matter. Quote, "We are aware of the allegations currently circulating within our community related to FIFA 21 Ultimate Team items. A thorough investigation is underway, and if we identify improper conduct, we will take swift action. We want to be clear. This type of behavior is unacceptable, and we in no way condone what is alleged to have happened here. We understand how this creates concern about unfair balance in the game and competition. We will update the community as we get more clarity on the situation." End quote. The representative also went on to say, "We're fucking pissed we didn't get in on the money that way. We didn't think of that beforehand.
We're losing out on so much money."
Yeah. They're not buying packs when they're just buying them directly from the guy.
Do we see like an eBay-style marketplace show up now?
Ooh, call it FIFAzon. Or what was it? It was Nookazon, right? For the Animal Crossing one that was all in problems there. You remember that one?
I don't.
So there was an Animal Crossing. This was fan done, so it wasn't an employee. But there was an Animal Crossing one, I believe, called Nookazon or something like that. That was the equivalent, obviously, of Amazon, but Tom Nook reference, mashup.
Yeah, I like it.
Where it was a marketplace online that people could post items that they had on their islands for sale or villagers or whatever. People could pay and then go and pick up the item and all these other things. It was like the black market of Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing. So
at
amazing.
one point, not that you should think of the animals in Animal Crossing like this, but there was a weird slave trade also happening. So, not really sure how far society ignored its own rules about not doing that anymore. Because everybody wanted that one dog that has the same problem as your dog.
Humans will human, man.
The heterochromia. Is that right? Two different colored eyes.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the name of the villager is, but there's one of them that had that, and he was very rare to get. And I think at one point he was selling for $5,000.
Whoa!
You're welcome.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Number 7.
And I say it's jokingly a slave trade. Like that shouldn't be a joking thing, but they can't leave your island unless you let them. So
they're all slaves.
Right.
Or at least captives.
And technically you're all slaves to Tom Nook because he's got you in debt up to your eyeballs. Millions and millions of bells. You got to shell turnips for days in order to get your way off that island. Otherwise, he sends hitmen after you when you try to leave and he shoots you.
Pretty fucked up, Nintendo. Pretty fucked up.
I mean, listen, man, it's a real conspiracy. It's real fucked up when you think about what they're telling you. Can you imagine an Alex Jones deep dive on like Animal Crossing?
I mean, there's
100% like QAnon Animal Crossing problem.
There's a quality YouTube video parody that could be made from that.
Oh, 100%. But you can do it for everything. It's the same with I can't remember what the one was I saw recently. Where it was somebody was discussing like a game and if you took it from like a very, very top level view of you wanted to make everything, like make a story out of everything, and it was like, oh God, that's terrifying.
Yeah. Number 7.
Like The Sims, man. You just can't escape your own life, man. You try to escape into a different world, and then you find out like, I don't know how to cook anything, and I light my entire apartment on fire, and I just have problems, and I can't go to night school because I don't have the money for that. But then I have to go to my job the next day, and I didn't sleep all last night, and I peed my pants on the way to work. And it's just like there's a whole number 7. Ignore my fever dreams.
Epic Games' acquisition spree continued as the company announced the addition of photogrammetry.
Good job. Good pause and recovery.
The addition of photogrammetry developer Capturing Reality. Capturing Reality is the developer of Reality Capture.
Go fuck yourselves. Go. How lazy do you? What do we call it? What do we do? Oh, I don't know. What's our name of our company? Capture Reality. Yeah, the program's name's called Reality Capture. That man got a raise, or woman got a raise.
Software that generates 3D models based on images or laser scans. As with numerous other technological acquisitions of Epic's in recent years, Capturing Reality's work will be incorporated into the Unreal Engine ecosystem, but the company will continue to support its existing customers and be able to add new ones.
Okay, so can we quickly be terrified for about 5 minutes with capturing reality with reality capture, and then using the face engine thing that I can't think of the name of right now.
I can't remember the name of it either.
No, it's not a V.
I don't know.
I'm gonna go find it real quick.
The problem here is that Epic and the Unreal ecosystem is getting ridiculous. It is basically going to become Skynet or something.
They don't have ARM yet. NVIDIA's at least got that, potentially. They acquire that, we have problems. They're collecting the Infinity Stones.
Wait, who bought Hyundai? No, Kia. Who bought Boston Dynamics? I think it was Hyundai.
Okay. I was trying to look at
Jumping
at the mental leaps you were taking. Hyundai, Kia, no. Boston Dynamics.
Well, I was just thinking of like what else they could acquire that would like really make them scary. And it would have to be some robotics company like Boston Dynamics. They have a lot of shit though.
Boston or Epic?
Epic, like the Unreal Engine.
Yeah, I mean, Unreal is massive on its own, and then they just keep going, what if we did more of these things? And it's like...
They're going to get to the point where like there's really not going to be a good reason or excuse to use anything other than Unreal Engine to develop a game.
No, I mean, some companies will still have ability to not do it. The Snowdrop engine from Ubisoft, and there are certain ones that excel with their own engines. I can't remember what the name of the one that Kojima chose.
Decima.
Yeah, the Decima engine. There's ones like that, and obviously Unity always will have a spot. And
yeah, but even like the Decima engine, it's good, but like you could have made the same game in Unreal.
Oh, for sure, but I think for some companies just don't want to even take that price check on it because it's percentage based or whatever. So I think some would just like to try to risk it for the most part with their own thing. Yeah. But EA has shot themselves in the foot 6 times over trying to do that, so they might be the first ones out of the gate to go, maybe we shouldn't do that. Holy shit, how long ago did we look at this? Metahuman.
There it is. You know what is a really...
So Epic's Metahuman plus reality capture. We are steps away from Ready Player One.
Yep.
But like much better than the movie Ready Player One.
Detroit Become Human. The game
sparks a lot of problems. Once again, when you go through all of it, all the decisions and all the storylines and all the things you could see or potentially not see.
I saw a video and this kind of reminded me of it. By a water bottle. Of the main menu lady and how she'd interact with you.
Oh, yeah. And then she could disappear.
Yep.
Chloe, I believe.
Chloe. Yeah, Chloe. She was hot. She could get it.
I mean, she's an android. I'm pretty sure all the androids could get it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That is fair.
What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. But like all those storylines, I mean, Detroit Become Human brings up all the intricacies of what do we do when AI takes over.
We're going to find out soon because Epic's like, let's
speed this up.
We're going to put all this together. We're going to accidentally inject an AI code in there. It's going to...
At some point, a nanobot's going to bite me. I'm going to become Iron Man. That's how that works. Instead of like Spider-Man, I get infused. I just remember still going back to like the Detroit thing. I remember sitting in your living room and all of us going over Detroit choices.
Trying to work our way through that fucking spider web?
Trying to work our way through the spider web of what did I choose versus what did Dewey choose versus what did you choose. And...
the one choice, and then like literally, you've never seen this entire elaborate tree before. And
it spirals out of control when you're like, "Wait, you did that?" And your wife going, "You did that?" And I'm like, "What? Yes, I did that." Nothing better than watching shocked faces as you go through story-driven like choice things. No, you don't kill them, and I was like, yeah, I do."
They need to do a game that is in the same style as Detroit Become Human with choices and stuff like that. But the whole game is a personality assessment.
Oh, no. Probably exists. Might not be a game. It might be more.
Well, yeah, it's like those
Yeah.
personality quizzes, but
Or like if you ever
if it was like a game like Detroit Become Human and you didn't know it was a personality assessment,
Yeah.
and then at the end it's like, you're a fucking monster. Like,
Doo-doo-doo. You're a monster.
the police have been notified.
You're on a list. Have you seen? I mean, there's
Actually, China's probably got that game.
China just profiles their people by face cameras, and they have running records as a moment notice probably. But
And they're using the Unreal Engine for it.
Yeah, they're using MetaHuman to make their own fake humans. There's the like sociology tests. I don't know if you've seen some of those, but they're very like situational, like what would you do, situational type things.
Okay.
And it is personality based, but it's remember taking the political compass test where it's a lot of just like yes, no's in those.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of similar, but not really. They're a little bit more in depth in what they mean answer wise.
Okay.
Haven't taken one in a very long time, but I am always curious of just like what it's like reading a zodiac though. It's like, ooh, what does this mean? But everything's so unbelievably vague that you're like, yeah, that applies to me, but so does everything else you've said.
Or it's like completely situational and context is key. And
Yeah, it's like going to a fortune teller. It's like you're going to have good fortune come soon. I was like, well, that doesn't fucking narrow anything down. Nothing better than when I've heard people come back from fortune tellers or palm readers or whatever and be like, they said I was going to do so and so, and I was like, how many times when they asked you a very vague question did you give them a direct answer? I'm thinking of an R. Robert? Why would you answer them? Yeah, Robert does sound really good. Let's see, you kind of look a little distraught. Is Robert hasn't been around for a while, has he? No, he died years ago. Shut up! Stop talking to them! All it is read your body language and take exactly what you say and regurgitate it back to you.
okay,
People are
so
fucking stupid.
Nate clearly despises fortune tellers.
It's not even just fortune tellers. It's the people that were all you could get on TV that were, we can commune with
mediums.
The dead. Yeah, but like air quote mediums. Same problem I had with false prophets. They're just spewing bullshit. And my other problem, mediums, false prophets, a similar category.
Yeah,
people.
I could get behind that one.
And technically, Venn diagram, those two fall inside that one. But it's because the people are too stupid to see that they can just be manipulated so easily. And there are certain things where obviously it does get affected. So say you went through a traumatic experience and you're able to kind of use that as like a coping mechanism, I guess. For like you never had that moment where you really kind of sat. You never allowed the people that get really emotional about like they lost somebody. They're like, oh well, he wants you to know it's okay, or like those lines, or don't worry about the money. And it's like, oh, it turns out his hospital bills were terrible because he died of some really infectious disease type of thing. Or why infectious disease is what I went with, but yeah. So they go through that, but they never allowed themselves that moment to like grieve. So that person is able to like give them that, but it's not real. Like they're still not allowing themselves the actual like healing process. They're just allowing it to be excused because they think this person's talking with their dead relative.
It's very deep.
That's just
it's very deep. I see where you're coming from though.
But there's just a lot.
It's like a cheap. It's
them. It's
cheap closure.
It's cheap closure, but it's the people that are benefiting off of their cheap closure.
Yeah.
Because usually they're going to rake them for money.
Yeah.
To give them cheap closure. But the person has been, usually if they're seeking a cheap closure, has been either so refusal to their idea of their own closure, or is now like, is being bombarded by shitty family members that they also weren't allowed to have their own closure type of thing. But I don't know. People also have a bad time just kicking shit people out of their life.
The moral of the story is
people suck.
Be better.
Ooh, I like that. Be good to each other.
Be good.
be excellent.
Ooh.
Do it as we do in San Dimas. Bill and Ted. Number 8.
Go ahead. I was thinking of something else, and then I was trying to remember something, but it wasn't coming to me, so it's a waste of time.
Okay. Number 8. Microsoft has completed its $7.5 billion acquisition of ZeniMax Media, the parent company of Bethesda Softworks. And Xbox boss Phil Spencer has confirmed that some future games from Bethesda will be exclusive to Xbox and PC. Quote, "Now that everything is official, we can begin working together to deliver more great games to everyone. This is the next step in building an industry-leading first-party studios team, a commitment we have to our Xbox community. With the addition of the Bethesda creative teams, gamers should know that Xbox consoles, PC, and Xbox Gamepass, will be, sorry, it's a little Todd Howard coming through, will be the best place to experience new Bethesda games, including some titles in the future that will be exclusive to Xbox and PC players." The end quote.
I'll run through the next one, and then we can talk about that if you want.
I'll just blitz through the next one. I'll do it too. It's the same thing.
Okay.
We'll just keep it for continuity's sake. Why not? Why not? Microsoft finalized its Bethesda acquisition earlier this week, as I just said. Hey, weird, right? And now the company is revealing which existing games will appear on the one and only Gamers 2 loved Xbox Game Pass. Nate doesn't have a Game Pass shirt, but Matt did accuse him of being a John Boy Media shill, so here we go.
I didn't use such harsh language, but
I am a walking billboard. I am wearing a shirt. You are wearing a hoodie. Who's really the imposter, Matt? Because you're pretty sus. In total.
if only I had my coffee mug to drink out of too.
Right. We're just in this room doing our podcast wearing an entire other podcast company's merch. In total, 20 Bethesda titles will appear in Xbox Game Pass today. Here's the full list of Xbox Game Pass games. Unless otherwise stated, these games will be on console, PC, and the one and only xCloud. Go and give it to you.
xCloud. Fuck.
Got him. All right, here we go. Dishonored Definitive Edition, Dishonored 2, Doom 1993, Doom 2, Doom 3, Doom 64, Doom Eternal, The Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind on console and PC, The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion on console and PC, The Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim Special Edition, The Elder Scrolls Online, cloud and console, The Evil Within, Fallout 4, Fallout 76, Fallout New Vegas, console, Prey, Rage 2, Wolfenstein The New Order, Wolfenstein The Old Blood, and Wolfenstein Young Blood.
That's a good amount of good games now on Game Pass.
I recommend your priority.
Let me guess.
In no order, I'll give you 3 games.
Oh, 3. You're giving me 3 games? All right, let me guess.
No priority order, but just like top 3 that I would immediately go play.
Wolfenstein: The New Order, not on there. No, is there a Wolfenstein game on there?
Yeah, I think it is The New Order because Youngblood's the kids.
Yeah.
So New Order is one of them. 2 more.
There's gotta be a Doom one. Doom Eternal.
Doom Eternal's on there.
Oh shit.
1 more. Pretty easy. Pretty easy when you're thinking about me. And that's not a hint. That's just me. Me getting bored and randomly wanting to start singing "My Heart Will Go On."
Fallout 4.
Yes, good job, Matt.
Yeah,
3 for 3. Well done.
That was what I was thinking earlier that I was trying to remember, but it wasn't really relevant at the time. Since I have that month of Game Pass, accidentally, I was like, "Oh, I should play Rage 2." When I was making this document, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
So
I dabbled in Rage 2 a little bit. Was not what I was looking for at the time. But that's once again, the benefit of Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of games, download, move on. Download, move on. It just always happens where I just end up not being in the mood for something.
Yeah.
I'm curious how the Elder Scrolls Online
Is on xCloud?
works. Well, on xCloud, sure, but works on Game Pass. Like, if you're paying for Game Pass, are you getting the online subscription for free, or are you having to double dip into $30 a month?
Does it have a subscription?
I believe so. I know it is free to play. I know there is a free to play version. I believe that was announced. There was a free to play version, but I'm pretty sure, similar to the Old Republic, that's a free to play. They have a paid version.
I bet it's like
we have gained a new listener who has been playing the Elder Scrolls Online, and he will very quickly be screaming from the rooftops to let me know about this and how I'm wrong or right.
I mean, I've played a little Elder Scrolls Online, and I think it's extremely
So you
underrated.
have.
Yeah, I think it's really underrated.
So this came up. This came up last night.
Okay.
You were asked about if you had played online, and I said I think we were discussing Elder Scrolls, not online.
Mm-hmm.
But I remembered, now that you said you did play, I do remember you, Tyler, and Dewey, I believe, discussing playing the Elder Scrolls Online together.
Yeah.
But I had played beta on PC and then just gotten annoyed and went, I don't give a shit about Elder Scrolls, so I just never went back.
Mm-hmm. I played it on PC and I played it on console as well, and I think I actually enjoyed it more on console.
Interesting.
And I think it's extremely underrated. There's a fuck ton of content, but it's not like content like WoW content where if you're not, if you're a new player, WoW is very intimidating. Elder Scrolls, I think, is like WoW is like 4D.
There is a Plus membership for $14.99 a month.
Okay.
You can play for free, but there is a membership.
I was hoping that they were going to do it like kind of like how EA does their subscription service, where like you get the best tier of the game. I was kind of hoping that they'd go that route where they're like, oh, you're on Game Pass, so you get the subscription service as well. But I guess not.
A lot of wind.
It's very windy out. My car was getting blown all over the road on the way up.
I got a little bit of breeze on the way home, but not as bad as it's like sounding while we're in here. Yeah. I would like that, but even, and I'd have to double check this, but I don't remember EA Access at the top tier giving you Star Wars premium sub either. But I think when we both played, we didn't care anyway because we didn't bother with EA. We had already bought the game, so we didn't bother with the EA Access part of it.
That's true. That's true.
We just bought the subscription for the 30 days or 60 days and played.
Yeah. There's probably I can imagine the crossover there is probably weird. Ooh, excuse me. Where like I don't know, like I feel like you're probably not getting a ton of new players to games like Elder Scrolls Online.
According to this was updated on 2/17/2021. What is included with my access to ESO on Xbox Game Pass? This is when the Morrowind stuff was out. So with Xbox Game Pass, you'll get access to ESO and the Morrowind chapter. It also includes 10% off all Crown Pack purchases in the Xbox Game Store, as long as the Elder Scrolls Online is part of the Game Pass library. To access yada yada yada, to go through here. Final line. ESO Plus membership is not included.
Okay. There it is.
So you would still have to double down 30. It'd be 30 a month to do the cloud version plus the if you wanted to do the plus membership. Obviously you could do the free membership. I don't know. I've debated giving it a second shot, but I don't think I can play two. I've never successfully been able to play two MMOs at once.
I don't,
because like I've wanted to play Star Wars again too.
I think it'd be one of those situations to where like you would get it and you'd be like, I get it.
that's also my worry. I'd be like, cool,
but
man.
it's the same. It's in the same vein as WoW, is where like you kind of have to be into the world, for it to really get
Pardon
you.
me if you hear me drinking, but yeah.
So I don't think it'd be
Where I've said I don't give a shit about Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, you'd either have to be into the world or be playing with
People.
friends.
Yeah.
So,
or the game would have to be really good that I didn't need to be in the world, type of thing. Like,
which I don't think that's possible. Like,
because like
I don't think that's really possible with an MMO.
Well, Guild Wars was that way for me. The first Guild Wars. I was also young enough that I didn't understand anything of what the world was happening.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh yeah, so there's like this destruction stuff, and you gotta save it. And I was like, I'm gonna run around and kill things.
Yeah,
and I enjoyed my time. And then we went to the Frozen North or whatever that expansion was, and I met Olaf, seventh son of Olaf, in Olafstead, and I was like, this is funny, and he's pretty awesome, cool.
The Eye of the North.
Yeah, Eye of the North. Yeah. I'm a necromancer. I got this green staff. Green means it's the highest rank. Good times. Woo. That's all I ever understood. I never understood any of the story of Guild Wars.
I remember the name of that expansion because the letters were Guild Wars Eye of the North, and it spelled out Gwen, which was the name of the little girl in the very beginning of Guild Wars.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Well done. Which
is also... You meet her. That's the point of the expansion, though. Is like you meet her older now.
Yeah. What a time!
Bringing back some memories.
This is a lot of memories. I remember running around. I remember when I got that green staff and me being like, "Oh my god, this is awesome!"
Yeah.
Because it didn't mean anything to me. I wasn't raiding it. Like in Guild Wars, I wasn't raiding. I wasn't doing dungeons. Like. Todd and I were sometimes a two-man team running, I don't remember the name of the instances, but we would do double ritualist builds running into like Oblivion?
The Underworld, probably.
Underworld, there was another one though.
Fissure of Woe.
Yeah, Fissure of Woe and Underworld. So there were different builds and routes depending on what you were running, and him and I would do two-man ones of double ranger, double ritualist. He had a dervish monk that he would be able to do Drax runs on and all that stuff. Yeah. And it just this is bringing me all back, and I'm like, I'm getting emotional. No, not really, but I
get emotional.
my youth.
That was like my peak, like rating right there was Guild Wars, because like that's when I was like really in deep. And
I never raided. The most I did was the end of Eye of the North, where you had to do like that group mission. You had like 8 followers with you at the time. Mm-hmm. So I just did it with 8 followers because I was like, I don't know what else to. I don't have friends. I guess I just do this with 8 followers. Also, part of my problem with any other MMO currently, I want to go back and play more Star Wars, but that requires you.
I'm down, but the problem now is though we are not
right. We're not synced.
Yeah,
we got to spend more time together and get synced up.
Well, you're further along than I am, so I got to catch up.
In Star Wars?
Yeah.
It depends on what character we're on. I don't think I'm that much further ahead. Our Siths might be similar.
No, I think you're further ahead on Sith.
But either way, we'd have to double check. But one of my bigger problems, and the same thing with ESO, that I'm not. ESO is a world problem. Star Wars, I'm in all day. But what I always end up having a problem with is I need to find good UI managers for those games. Like having LVUI or having just different add-on managers to make WoW just look better and play better is such a big gain.
I don't know if you remember, but that was one of the things that Guild Wars was way ahead of its time on.
Kind of, but I never did it.
Was their UI was 100% customizable.
Right, but I played basic as shit. But part of that is also like Guild Wars is also very unique in the fact that you took 6 or 8 abilities.
Just 8, yeah, 8.
Yeah, 8, and that was it. You left with 8 abilities. You might have known 60. You left with 8.
I fucking love that part of that game.
But it was a very unique aspect versus everywhere else where it's like in WoW I have my whole spellbook. In Star Wars I have my whole spellbook. So when I start having access to that many things, I need this to visually look better and be more adaptive to these things. And I I'm very curious about like how dungeons or raids work in both. Like obviously I could run around any world in any game, walk up to an enemy and kill it. Doesn't matter what my UI looks like.
Yeah.
The moment I'm in a party and we're doing a group goal, there's a tank, a healer, and DPS, which is it's the same thing even for Final Fantasy 14, which I've also been very curious about because Final Fantasy 14 just keeps growing in popularity. I don't give a shit about Final Fantasy, but it looks like it would just be chaotic fun.
Yeah.
But same thing where, okay, once you have those roles, if I'm doing just DPS, it wouldn't matter as much, I guess, but I would still want a better UI and more manageability over what I'm seeing. But if I'm a healer, when I've healed on WoW, I have things that make it visually much easier for me to do and other things. And every time I remember looking at like Star Wars UI, I would just go, I don't understand how I'm supposed to heal this effectively.
Mm-hmm.
Probably because my 7-year-old brain or whatever I was at the time didn't bother to Google like Star Wars add-ons and see how easy it would have been to concoct it. But I feel like they're not on the level I want them to be on, probably where I have an expectation level.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of part of the thing is like...
And I don't know how you do that with Elder Scrolls where it's on console.
You don't probably.
Like, I mean,
sure.
you probably couldn't do it on the console version,
Mm-hmm.
but obviously you could. I imagine you could do it on the PC version. But that's the part where it's like, I don't know if because it's cross, can you not do that type of thing? Do you get a benefit from playing it?
I think the other thing too is like you are entrenched in peak MMO. Like WoW is peak.
Yeah,
and like nothing is ever going to be as customizable as WoW just because there's like infinite add-ons, there's infinite player base making the add-ons better.
Yeah. But I just need certain things. I don't need all of it, obviously, because there's a ton of it that I don't use.
Mm-hmm.
I just need certain, like, very small quality of life things. So when I go into certain things, I go, okay, this translates immediately for me. I get this.
Going back to the Guild Wars thing, Guild Wars ruined community-based gaming for me, like guild-based gaming for me, because I got into a guild and it was like, you know, the idea of the perfect guild where like everyone's like there to make everyone else better and like
everybody's hanging out, somebody needs
so,
help, we all go, yada yada.
So like, you know, we do, you know, end game stuff, and they were like completely constructive, like, all right, you're healing, you're the monk, okay, all right, it's not working out. Like,
also, how did healing work in that game?
Here's like try this build, try this rotation.
Yeah,
you know,
but like how does healing work in that game? You know what I mean? I don't remember seeing what are called unit frames. I don't remember seeing other like players' health bars. I remember like as I was healing on my monk, but my monk was a 55 monk, so I was just running around doing Shield of Judgment and standing there because there was no healing another player. I just took care of myself.
So you had your party list on the side.
Okay, yeah.
And you could see their health, but it was a very small bar. So essentially what you do...
Was it like a click on them? Click the thing?
Yes, but what you'd essentially do is because the whole UI was completely customizable, I took that party screen, dragged it into basically the center of my screen, blew up the bars so they were bigger.
Yep.
And then... You know,
similar to what I have in WoW currently. Yeah.
Exactly. Like I've seen some shots of like the healer setups in WoW, and it's basically that concept dumbed down and aged to that time.
Yeah.
Time frame.
But it's always like when I get to those things, I'm like, I don't remember. Was it because it was the same thing in Star Wars? I think where it was like if I wanted to heal somebody, I had to go click on a frame, and then I had to go press a heal, and I was like, this is unbelievably clunky, and it's frustrating the shit out of me.
Yeah.
In Star Wars, once again, unbelievably customizable in their UI.
Mm-hmm.
But I need somebody to have already built it and go, there you go, like copy and do this, and then I can tweak it off of that.
Yeah.
But there's so many options that I get overwhelmed and don't want to spend 7 hours doing my UI.
Yeah, I feel you. That was an intense tangent.
Dude, listen, we get going on MMOs. It's going to be a whole thing.
Do we have anything else about Microsoft that we want to talk about?
That's true. That technically was a Bethesda discussion.
I'm kind of...
we've kind of already gone over the whole thing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm of two minds with the whole exclusive thing. That was clearly the goal. It's interesting that the play is interesting that they waited until the acquisition was done before coming right out and being like,
Well, I think
this is about
I think that was
exclusives.
legal reasons. Like legally, they could not discuss like what they're going to do with the
Yeah,
company
okay.
if they don't own them, type of thing.
I could see that.
Because I believe that was what was actually said. While this was happening, I believe they said we can't talk about it. It's not done.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody, I think, said that. I don't remember if it was like Aaron Greenberg or somebody else.
I'm curious how far they'll take it. Obviously, it doesn't really apply to us, but I mean, it does. There's a lot of people that might affect.
I mean, they say some future ones. We know Deathloop won't be, and a couple others. But I could very much see the Elder Scrolls, being that case. And it's the console exclusive thing. Elder Scrolls, Starfield, whatever. Like they'll still be on PC. We know they will. That won't be an issue. And Bethesda has their own launcher on PC, so like, not going to be there.
Yeah. Maybe that launcher won't exist much longer.
I mean, we did complain about that at one point where everybody started just trying to make their own launchers, and it's like, stop that. The potential, though, they clarified it in a roundtable yesterday, that Microsoft and Bethesda had like a roundtable of discussing what it means that they're working together and yada yada yada. And it was, yes, future things. Everything that's already out will still be on both. Like we're not yanking anything off or whatever. But then I think it was that stuff like Deathloop that it has already been announced for PlayStation will continue to exist. But I believe it was that future titles will be exclusive, and I go, yeah. I still think it's for a while. I think they won't officially announce a timed exclusive type thing where they won't say like it's going to be on our stuff for 1 year. I don't think they'll say that. I think that it'll just be it's on our stuff, and then 4 years later they'll go, screw it, drop it. Once they've milked as much money out of their own ecosystem as they can, they'll go, so we like more money.
They're going to take the PlayStation approach where where Sony's now starting to drop their exclusives on PC
after years of refusal, basically, because they've milked their economy to the bone.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the only way Microsoft actually does it. A bunch of people were like, "Oh, well, if Nintendo was buying them or Sony was buying them, nobody would expecting them to drop games on other platforms." And I go, "You're right," because Sony hates playing with anybody else in the sandbox, and Nintendo is very, very picky about who it plays with, if anyone at all.
See, I think Microsoft might start to play hardball with specifically Sony.
I think they will play hardball with Sony as well, but Microsoft has also had the whole message for a while where it's play wherever you want. And I think Microsoft is trying to shove Game Pass into Sony as hard as they can.
That's where I'm going with that. I think they're trying to play hardball because they want to put Game Pass on PlayStation.
Yeah. But that's the part where it's like Sony won't play nice. Like they just won't give it. They're going to go piss in their own sandbox. They're not letting somebody else into piss in it. No way. This is my sandbox. I pee in my corner when I want to. That's a weird thing for Sony to demand, but listen, man, I don't understand Sony's thoughts.
That would be if they got Game Pass on PlayStation, that would like totally fuck up the entire video game dynamic.
Yep.
Anyways,
that's it. I mean, it would just be massive.
All right, looks like I'm evens now.
For the last ones.
Video game retailer GameStop has announced that its board of directors has formed a new committee to identify ways in which it can further accelerate the company's transformation. Quote, "The committee will continue to focus on identifying actions that can transform GameStop into a technology business and help create enduring value for stockholders." End quote. The Strategic Planning and Capital Allocation Committee is made up of former Chewy executives Alan Adel and Ryan Cohen, as well as Kurt Wolf, who had a hand in the whole GameStop stock situation. He's some sort of investor. Unrelated note, Kurt Wolf is also the name of one of Germany's best aces during World War I. Little fact for you there. Little factoid.
Let's just keep those factoids forever.
Technology business.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what the fuck that means from GameStop.
Yeah.
technology business, GameStop.
Will be interesting to see. I'm never at this point. I'm no longer never not amazed by. That's I believe it's a triple negative.
Never.
So I should be okay.
Not.
No longer, never, not. You know what? I'm not even going to bother to figure it out. But I'm just going to always be curious with whatever the hell they're doing because I don't understand.
I just want to see where it ends.
Yep. A dump truck rolling downhill.
Yep. Where are we going?
Where are we going to end up? There's a small puppy. You going to hit that? Nope. Oh, you evaded that. All right. Granny walking across the street. Oh, somehow missed that. Number 11. Epic Games on Wednesday expanded its worldwide legal fight against the dominant mobile app store operators with a new legal claim against Google in Australia. The claim accuses Google of, quote, anti-competitive conduct breaches. The claim accuses Google of anti-competitive conduct, which breaches the Australian consumer law. And also accuses the search giant of violating the country's Competition and Consumer Act of 2010. Pour the tea in the harbor. Pour the tea in the harbor. Oh, it's not that same thing.
It's close enough.
Taxation representation. I understand legal battles for sure.
Epic's like, we want representation on all the app stores.
We're going to sue you in Australia. And when this one gets thrown out, we're going to New Zealand. And when this one gets thrown out, we're going to India. And when this one gets thrown out, they're going to run out of countries to sue them in eventually.
I don't know what the play is on this.
Many eggs in many baskets. If we sue them in enough countries, eventually one will break.
It's almost like it's a money ploy. Like we're just going to try to rack up the legal fees.
Yeah, but you're going against legal fees for Amazon and Google who are like, we don't care.
Yeah, it's like you guys are just going to be throwing money into dumpsters and lighting them on fire.
Well, I mean, basically the Fortnite community is paying its legal battle for them.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's pretty
fun. You have a child labor army, which is paying your legal fees.
Back to slavery.
I think I mentioned China at some point, so I'm all right.
Yeah. Oh
hey,
God,
speaking
now
of German,
I gotta say all these fucking German words.
Hey, listen, you brought up the German pilot, so gotcha. But I want to hear some accent. I need some.
I can't do accents. I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna say these in like a Germany way.
I mean, I'll do it if you want me to do it. Oh, there's more.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them, bro.
There's only 3.
The German Bundestag has passed a proposed reform to the country's youth protection law, which could result in new standards being applied to video games featuring loot boxes, according to a report from Der Spiegel.
Yes.
If the reforms receive approval from the Bundesrat, which is the federal council, they could be enforced as early as this spring. The most pressing outcome of the reforms for the games industry relate to loot box monetization mechanics, one of several interaction risks that may be used when making a decision on age ratings for each product. Games featuring loot boxes will also include that information alongside other content descriptors. I'm kind of surprised that this is not already a thing.
Yeah, but
Germany.
I'm not surprised. I guess I'm surprised. Yes, it's not a thing, but I'm also not surprised that they're acting on it because the European Union and just in general, even though this is Germany specific, moves much faster against these things than other people do.
Yeah, at this point, it's almost a matter of time before the EU makes a blanket loot box regulations.
Also, have you stared at a word and you're convinced it's not spelled correctly, but it 100% is, and it just looks weird?
Yeah, it's all the time.
Monetization.
Yep. I think there's multiple spellings of it.
Probably, but I'm just staring at it and I'm like, that doesn't.
Because I've seen it with a Z before. I feel like.
I feel like that as well. Also, I can't remember what was the word I was doing this with. Wood? No. Something very simple, and I was just staring at it like
all the words
that
right. have like an English spelling and an English spelling. Like I guess the best way to do it is an American spelling and an English spelling. Throw me the fuck off, like armor. And
isn't that a French spelling though?
Maybe it is French.
I believe it is because color is the same situation.
Yeah, color is another one.
It's
gray.
It's all the extra U's. Yeah, well, gray is a double different down, but usually it's like
the U.
It's the U that I believe because. This is going to an entire level of things, but I believe when things were being claimed, like when people were deriving languages from things, England took French parts of it, where I can't remember if it was another part in England or something, took like Italian parts. So that's how you end up getting some of the differences. I believe
that would make sense
similar.
Because. All right, so this is like a deep cut into the whole history of Rome podcast I'm listening to. But obviously, like Rome had a huge presence in like half of England.
Yeah.
So like
I believe it was
Latin base and then a French base would kind of make sense.
People were talking about it on one of my game show binges where people were pronouncing things differently. They're like, well, actually, it's because like where we were, it was mostly French settled. So when they got French dialects, they started using some things like that, where other ones were Latin dialect and yada yada.
So fascinating.
It is. Loot boxes, though,
bad.
No language barrier. No, those are bad. Number 13, League of Legends Wild Rift, a spin-off of the PC game, is heading into open beta in North America on March 29th. The beta will be available for mobile devices on iOS and Android. Cool.
Yeah. Nice little tidbit if you're a League fan. Last and certainly least. I know nothing about Roblox.
We know nothing about Roblox.
But it has gone public and is now worth $45 billion. For reference, Roblox is now worth more than EA and Ubisoft.
And certain countries.
Yeah, probably a lot of countries, actually.
Always a fun one there when it's like, and it's worth more than this country, and you're like,
45 billion. Stupid money. That's what I like to call that.
Yo, you got that dumb money? I am just double checking something real quick.
Double checking? Are you done double checking?
No, you're fine.
Okay.
Do whatever you're going to say.
I watched a great movie during the week. The Shadow.
Okay.
Fantastic movie. You ever watched The Shadow?
No. I believe I've heard it referenced either in a
Probably by
podcast
me,
or a joke. No. I don't think it was by you. I think it was by a YouTube video or something.
Okay.
Somebody was like, oh, yeah, The Shadow. And I was like, I have no idea what that is.
The Shadow knows. Ha 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 ha. Anyways.
I know that line. I know The Shadow knows, but I would have never told you it was from The Shadow.
Yeah.
I've heard it like referenced, but I don't know what it is. What's the movie about? Enlighten me.
So The Shadow, the movie is based on the character originates from a radio show from the 30s, I believe. Kind of like a precursor to like a comic book character. The movie has Alec Baldwin in it. He plays the Shadow. It's just fun. Just a fun little goofy thing. The movie specifically also has not Genghis Khan, the descendant of Genghis Khan. I can't remember what his fucking name was. It's a good movie. Just funny. It's silly. It's funny. It's kind of like a comic book movie. I just enjoy it a lot. The Shadow, he can turn himself into a shadow.
Makes sense.
Kind of like
fact checks out.
Yep. Kind of like can create illusions almost.
Shadows.
Yeah, almost like he can make you not see things.
Ooh,
if that makes any sense. Kind of can distort his appearance. trying to think of what other cool shit he does.
Interesting.
Yeah, I liked it. I've watched it a lot when I was younger.
Mhm.
This is the first time I've watched it recently.
More,
And I
more understanding.
Yep, and I just enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I was going to.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, this movie's kind of fucking funny. Like, it's just like just the humor in it is like really dry and sarcastic, and I'm like, this is great.
But if you needed to play some games, I got some game deals for you. Such as Humble Monthly. Currently, 3 featured games include Control, Chimera Squad, XCOM Chimera Squad, and Elix.
Control.
It's a
That's
fun game. I liked it. It was a good game.
that was a
Game of the Year nominee.
Game of the Year nominee is what I was trying to say. Couldn't get it out of
GOTY
my
contender. If you have Xbox Live or Xbox game, whatever, games with gold, you got Warface Breakout available from March 1st to the 31st. Vicious Attack Llama Apocalypse available March 16th to April 15th. Metal Slug 3 available from the 1st to the 15th of March. And Port Royale 3 available from March 16th to the 31st. If you have PlayStation Plus, your games for March are Final Fantasy VII Remake on the PS4, Farpoint on the PS4, Remnant from the Ashes on the PS4. I believe some of these are also sharing with PS5. Not 100% confirmed, but you know. And Maquette or Maquette. I remember we discussed this last week when I wanted to pronounce it as Maquette because of machete.
Well, you know, you do you.
Because it's a word, it's a letter off of Marquette, so it's probably Maquette. But yeah, so there's those things. Anyway, other than the movie, what have you been up to the last 7 days?
No games, game drought. Watch the movie. Just been mostly chilling with the old ball and chain. Watching TV shows. I'm rewatching Band of Brothers because it's good. Got to do my yearly Band of Brothers watch. Didn't do it.
My yearly history.
You know, I didn't do it. I usually do it around New Year's for some reason. Didn't.
What a way to start the year. We're going to the trenches, boys. It's a new year, new fight.
Watching some anime. Listening to the History of Rome podcast, which is extremely long, extremely detailed, very interesting. All the John Boy Media content, listen to all that while working.
Respect to the John Boy Media content.
Yep. And I think that's... Oh, yeah, we're doing our gender reveal this weekend, so we're going to figure out what fucking parasite is sitting inside my wife's stomach.
Ooh, I hope it's an alien.
That'd be pretty dope.
Like it's a xenomorph. Like it's a xenomorph. Like they're like, good news, xenomorph.
Over under on being a xenomorph.
Place your bets.
Yeah, that's
Place
about
your
it.
wagers.
That's life for me right now.
Xenomorphs, man.
Doing a little car shopping.
As always.
Tell
me the time you're not doing car shopping.
You have a fair point. I've gotten further.
It's just a version. It just depends on which version of a car you're looking at. Like
I've gotten
project,
further.
daily.
That's true. You're not wrong.
It's always a car, though.
I've gotten further this time to actually committing. So we'll see. We'll see where that lands.
Yeah. I can't wait to get the text where you go, I've chosen, and I go, all right, when are we gonna
go?
No,
my plan's not to text you and tell you. I'm going to
You're just show up with it?
I'm gonna show up and I'm just gonna throw you keys. And that's gonna be how it goes.
I say it's either gonna be that or I'm gonna have to come with you to go get it. Depending on what you procure.
Yeah. We'll
Because I can also picture that moment where you go, hey, can you meet me at the house? And then you throw me keys, and you go, we got to go.
I mean, if it comes to that.
Eastbound and down, we got to get a car.
So, that's my life right now. Nothing really exciting. I do got to make some... I gotta wrestle my schedule and make my life more scheduled, because
Make your schedule your bitch.
yeah, because
Be
like
in
there's just
submission.
like I don't have any, like, there was at one point when I was playing games more often, I was making a point of like, all right, so these nights I'm gonna play X amount of hours of games, or like or this week I'm gonna do like 2 hours a night of whatever. Where I stopped doing that, so now I just kind of come home and I'm just like being a vegetable.
Yeah, now it's
So,
chaos again.
yeah.
And you get home, you're like, I don't know what to do with my hands, but YouTube's pretty cool.
Yeah, that sums it up very well. So that's my life. What have you been up to?
You know.
You know.
The thing called World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
There you go. That's my summary of my entire existence.
That's fair.
Yeah. I think I said it last week, but AOTC's done, so we're just we're around. We're doing things.
On cruise control now.
Yeah, cruise control until the next patch. So a lot of messing around and leveling alts and doing things, but now that like the goals are keep hiccuping. Now that the goals are accomplished, it's freed me up a little bit. So started playing Assassin's Creed again. Try to finish that up. Still enjoying it. I'm not having any of the issues I had with Odyssey, which is the nice thing. Where I was like, this is ridiculous. And I move at a good pace through the story. Like, cool. Did that campaign quest? Where's the next one? Boom, 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 boom. Fast travel. Boom, 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 boom.
I do have to say, I appreciated the new Assassin's Creed Valhalla a lot more the longer I was removed from it and was thinking about it. Like, just randomly thinking about it, or like seeing like a clip of Odyssey or something that.
The old Red Dead move.
Yeah, I'd be like, really, Valhalla is like a vast improvement of the formula.
Yep.
So
100%. They need to take 2 years. They cannot do every year.
They haven't announced another one yet.
Not yet, but
I think we're gonna get 2 years.
I hope so. That's what they said last time, and they fucking.
I think we're gonna get 2 years, not because they want to, but because they have to, because of the whole COVID thing.
It'd be perfect. They'll make a better game.
Yeah. So
they need to do 2 years because it is very obvious when they get time and can sit in things and do things versus when they just do a reskin and make it worse.
Yeah. I think they definitely streamlined and sped up the play style on this one, but I think it's still too long.
I would agree that it's probably still too long. I mean, I'm 20 hours in and you saw where I am at. I'm guessing for me maybe 15 more hours.
Yeah, I was
for how I play.
Yeah, I was going to say you'll probably end up around 40 hours.
Yeah,
so
40,
15,
45.
15 to 20 hours longer.
Or sorry, 35 to 40. I can't do math.
Yeah,
I mean, that's because I usually generally move through. The other problem with the entire idea being considered Assassin's Creed is I haven't done almost anything stealthy in 7 or 8 zones. At this point, I'm just like a Viking, screaming, "Bring it on!"
Yeah,
and not caring, which is fun. Don't get me wrong, a lot of fun. But as I've said from the beginning with Valhalla, why do we still have the Assassin's Creed name attached to it?
What's the point?
Yeah, just call it Valhalla. That's it. You made a Viking game using the Assassin's Creed stuff, but just take the words out. I get you need it probably for marketing, but do you? So yeah, it's just been that, and then when my goal is to push to have to have Valhalla done before April 20th, specifically April 16th, because that'll be the early release day, which is the show. So that gives me a month. I will 100% have it done probably before April. If I just put my I'm going to sit down on a Saturday and move.
Yeah.
2 Saturdays, I'm done. Like, as is typical for me. But then I need to also play Spider-Man. But Spider-Man is not on a deadline, so.
Yeah.
Spider-Man is my next, like, ooh, I want fun melee combat, swing around the city and feel pretty cool. Spider-Man.
I have to play Cyberpunk at some point.
Yeah. Never going back.
Might start that. Hopefully there's no game-breaking bugs.
And I have been tempted to pick up Yakuza Like a Dragon. Tempted.
I get it.
Tempted because I think I would really enjoy it, and I think it would be silly fun that I would have. But it'd be one of those where, like, I pick it up on the PC and I'm just doing, because I'm pretty positive for that one you can save wherever. So it'd just be like, okay, cool, we're playing WoW. I have that open, just playing it, save, quit, go back to doing whatever. Like, okay, people got on WoW, save, quit, play WoW with them. Okay, we're waiting or whatever, open it back up, play some more type of thing.
Yeah.
My typical ADHD kicking in and playing multiple things at the same time.
There's nothing wrong with that.
But that's really all I got. Or I guess if I really wanted to, I wait till April 20th and I remote play my PS5 to my PC and I play the show on one screen. And
Psycho.
I have a problem. But that's also why the MMO discussion, the other MMO discussion is kind of like tripped in. The entire discussion from before of like, I've achieved a lot currently in WoW of terms of like the old like what more do I do moment until the next patch type of thing. And I'm like, all right, cool, I'm there. But now I have the itch to like go do some more. Samoa. And yeah, that's where the thoughts creep in, because the one guy is playing Elder Scrolls and I'm like, ooh, I know somebody that's playing. So it's the old like, let me just take a side step over here. What you got going on over here? You got a little bit of laser beams, little archer. Khajiit has wares if you have coin. And then that's about all I know. I'm like, yep, Khajiit, arrow to the knee, whole thing. Am I an Elder Scrolls person now? Me with my double thumbs up, like, yeah.
I mean, what would probably be nice about Elder Scrolls is like you could get into it. It's simpler, I guess.
That's probably, but I mean, there's also the part where I always have that Star Wars one in the back of my head where like I know where we are, or you say I'm higher than you, but I don't know if that's 100% positive anymore. But there's that part where I'm like, yeah, but I'm already at endgame in that one, or close to it probably, unless there's been more expansions. Haven't paid attention, but I'm like, yeah,
there's been.
I could go over there and I could play things. I don't know anybody playing that game. And that I can't play an MMO alone.
Yeah. I know from when I played, there's been at least 2, possibly 3 expansions.
Yeah, but I don't know if they've been like level expansions or just story expansions. Because not every time there's a level expansion either.
Yeah. I mean, they're definitely story expansions. I don't know about
Oh, yeah. All right, well, that's all I got.
Yeah.
Cool. We will see you guys in 7 days. Bye-bye.